And I'm so excited you're here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. And people will keep joining us as we go, and that's just fine. All right, so what I want to do is I want to start by just showing you something over here at LinkedIn. So we're talking about using Canva, it's a graphic art site, basically, to create our own images. And this is one that I just put out, I think last week, 2 days ago. Okay, I put this one out 2 days ago. I have a small comment up here, and then it goes into the artwork that I made, and I branded this with Marnie.com at the bottom. And so far, we have 266 people have responded. 3,888 people have viewed it. We have 44 comments and 9 shares. So why am I showing you that? I want you to know that this is not just about doing art. What we're trying to do is we're trying to share God's love and light with people. And I love LinkedIn, sharing memes with people on LinkedIn, because those are business people. I mean, they're mostly on there doing business, and all of a sudden, boom, into their periphery or into their feed comes a Bible verse or something that is about Jesus, and it just disrupts their busy, focused business day. And that's what I love to do with it. I also use Canva for many things, the covers for my videos and the radio show covers and all that. But Canva can be used for anything you want. Right now, I'm going to show you some strategies that I use to just go quickly through the process of creating beautiful and branded memes. When you get to home on Canva, on the left side, you have your projects are down over here. There's one thing I want to show you right now. It's called your brand kit. If you don't have a brand kit yet, just go to tools and you can create your own. This is where you put your colors. Like I have my logos up there, but this is where my brand colors are. These are my main brand colors, and then these are my supplement brand colors. Everybody's brand colors are going to be different. Yours might be all muted, peaches and sage, whatever they are, that's what they are. And then the fonts that you always use are your brand fonts. Why that's important is because go to an image and you want to change like the back color on this. This is, if I highlighted that so you can see there. When I pull this up, boom, my brand colors are right here. So it makes it easy for me to stay consistent. Also, when I want to add text, my branded texts are right here at the top. So when you want to get so that you can really speed through this, create a brand kit under tools. All right, that's what I wanted to show you there. And we'll come back and answer some questions. So this is a cover for, this is Ginger's here. How fun is that? This is the cover for Ginger's YouTube session at the Spring Summit that's coming up. And these are a certain size. So I want to just show you the sizes that you need. And if you're taking notes, the square size you need, I wonder if I have one here. So this is the square size I use. And I always start with my square. I start with a square that is 2,300 by 2,300. So when I'm creating a design, I always just go here, custom size, and you'll see mine is right here. 2,300 by 2,300 gives me a blank slate. So this is a wonderful size for Instagram. I use it on LinkedIn, Facebook. I use it on my business Google. The square size is great. Once I get the square one done, then I do this resize button right here. And I said, I want to make this tall. So tall is going to be for the stories, the Pinterest stories and the Facebook stories that have the tall, they require the tall one. So then I go over here and I say, I want to do this and I want to copy I want to keep this one the way it is, and I want to copy it and resize it. It opens it up for me in a new one. And then I just tweak it a little bit to make it the tall version. Now, the final size that I have is I have this 1280 by 720, which is Ginger's cover. So this is like a YouTube cover size. So those are the 3 sizes that I use, 2,300 by 2,300. Then I go to 1,300 by 2,300 and then 1280. And you can do that 1,300 by 740 too if you want to. It's just easier. All right, so I'm going to pause for 10 seconds and I'm going to say, does anybody have a question about what I just showed you?
So these are better than, usually when I use Canva, I just use the Instagram size because it's a square, so I should do these instead?
You can do whatever you want. If you want to use Instagram size, that's your square. So
Yeah.
just what, yeah. And then you can just go resize and take that to a tall. And then you can go resize and take that to the wide.
Oh, cool.
But when you're, let me show you in my folder how I track these real quick. So down here, I open this up on my left bar. I'm opening this right now, media, and then I've got my shareables. And then down here, I have two sets of shareables. I have my ready to be used and I have my recently used. Okay. So let's say I want to pick something to share. These are ones that I've used before, but not for a year. So they're all in here just waiting to be used. And you can see sometimes I have all three sizes. Often I just have two sizes.
Okay.
So, but if you keep them all here, then what I do is before I start sharing, I highlight the ones I'm going to share right now, and I simply drag them into the same one. So if I'm pulling them out of my scripture quotes, I'm going to drag that into my recently used scripture quotes. And that's how I manage mine. I like to have it on my computer versus somewhere online because you have to download and upload it every time. And so I just keep them right here. And that's
so
how
these
I
are just
manage
folders
them.
on your computer.
It's just a folder on my computer.
Okay.
Yep.
And
anybody else?
At the end, can you show us how to grab the colors off our website for our brand?
I actually don't know how to do that. So I'm sure if you Google that, you can find that out.
Okay.
I actually had somebody help. I actually had a graphic artist help me develop my brand kit. And so but I know that's what she did. She went through all of my photos. And then after she went through them all, I actually had her tweak them. They weren't actually what I wanted. Okay. Even though that's what I was using, they weren't quite what I wanted. So she did help me do it. So on this one, I wanted to show you one thing you can do here is once you get something kind of laid out that you like, you can use this little duplicate button and you can make it again. And then you can just change something like change the background color or, change like instead of having this text right here, move the text up, but you can copy it as many times as you want. And sometimes when I'm working with Christine, sometimes we have 15 different ones before we get the final one that we want. And if you look, when I highlight over all of this, you see the layering that's happening here. You can see all these little pieces are separate pieces in here. And so you can do a lot with these and you could change them around. But what you want to do is you want to keep your main one. You can name them. You want to keep your main one and then make a copy so you don't lose that, because a lot of times what you come up with first is kind of where you want to be, but then you keep playing with it. It gets really far off track and then you come back and you go back to that first one again and just tweak that. So that's one thing here. Now, what you can't do is you can't make this one tall in this particular folder. Okay, you have to, so we called this YouTube. You have to only do the wides in one folder. And then you're going to do like, this is a different size yet again, because we just needed it that size. And you can see here, we've got it in different ways then down below for different uses. And again, on this one, if I highlight, boy, you can see how many, different layers we've got going on. Look at how much work that was to get that to look like that. And then you can also just capture, like if all I want is the faces captured, I do this and I can do what's called grouping. So then I'm just going to get those in a group so that when I move one, all of those move. So you can do that grouping thing as well. I want to show you one more picture, two more pictures here, and then I'll open it up for questions again. So on this one, what we did is we just took one of those other ones. I downloaded it. I uploaded it here as a photo, and then I could just bring it over into here. See, this one is actually this, and then I just tucked the bottom up or didn't. Okay. So that was that one. And you can see we had, you see how far it came. That's where it started. And that's where it ended. So, it goes through a lot of renditions to get where you want to go. This we just put out today. So Ginger's here. I wanted to show you this one because something I use all the time is getting rid of the background. I used to pay every single week. I would pay my graphic artist $15 to $20 to get rid of the background on the images. So what I want to show you right here is we just uploaded Ginger's professional headshot that she provided to us right here. And then I went edit image up here, background remover. It's going to work. Then you apply it and boom, you can put it onto any background you want. This is like gold because like I said, I was used to paying my my graphic artist, you know, 15 to 20 bucks a week for him to hand do what they're doing here. So what this means now is that if I reduce this, I can put anything I want in the background. Sorry, I didn't hit the right thing there. I can put anything I want in the background. I can just put one of my theme colors. Or like for me, one of the things I have as, and you can use this as a search tool up here to find your own stuff. I use this one a lot for my background. Now it's on top. I want to move it backwards. Then I can move her in here. She can be as big or as little as I need. So that's how we got this to be like this. The background is black. And then this came from over here, this one. If you want to change your text, you just go over here and pick a different one. You can try it on for size and see what you want. This one is that one kind of whitish one that we used before that I showed you. So you can do, this is just her book cover there. And that's her freebie that she's giving away. So this is how you can create stuff like this. In just a minute, I'm going to show you how to create memes like this that are kind of more of a layered look. So now I'm going to take you to the next section here and record the screen again. These ones here, to me, this is like artwork to me. And this is, I will sit sometimes when my husband's watching TV and he just wants me to sit by him. I'm not a big TV watcher, so that's kind of torture for me, especially because like he never really watches a show. He watches like 12 shows. And so if I get my heart on one show, it's just devastating because I don't get to see it. So I just sit by him and I do artwork like this. And I have packets. In fact, I have packets of scripture that I love, like quote card type things. And I just use like a phrase out of that. But what I want to show you here is I want to show you that again, do you see how many layers are going on here? There's all kinds of layers. And I want to just teach you how to do that. And then when you change it up, you just kind of tweak them around a little bit to make it look different. So if we go back over here and let's say that you don't even know what you want, okay? So I sometimes will go to photos and I will just go soft. I just want something soft. I don't even know what I want. Oh, isn't that adorable? Not quite what I was thinking of though. So I just kind of go down here and I just kind of throw stuff up there until something kind of resonates with me. And maybe it isn't soft. Maybe what I really want is smooth. So you can just type in any kind of words. And I'm over in photos right here. You can also do that in elements. That's going to give you kind of a different set of things. And maybe that's what you wanted. So you find something that really resonates with you. I really love this. That's really cool. And all I'm doing to resize is I'm just grabbing the corners and I'm just pulling them around. And I think I want, one thing you can do, I'm going to Control C and Control V. I have a copy of it now. I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to align it like that. It doesn't work. Sometimes this works really good. I'm not sure I love that. So I'm going to get rid of that. And it's just a lot of playing around. It's very fluid. At this point, I could put a quote in here. So I'm going to try kind of a scripty font just for fun because it feels a little scripty to me. You can move this over up here. You can make the line spacing farther apart or closer together, the letter spacing farther apart or closer together. Let's just do something simple like Jesus saves. All right, so because I don't like how that looks at all, I am going to get rid of the whole second word. and I'm going to get rid of the J. And I really love how that looks. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to change the font size up here. And in fact, I'm going to do it even more than that. I'm going to go really kind of big. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to control copy again. And now I'm going to do the J. And I'm actually going to make the J be a size that feels nice to me. And now you see I have one more challenge here, right? This is way thick and this is not thick. So what I do then is I just copy, 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 many, many, many. And now I'm going to actually grab, it's not going to let me. So I'm going to move that down there. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to make it down here. You can make it bigger. And I'm going to do it one more time. And I'm going to move it just over to the side here, so that I've got it thicker. And if I get this big enough, it should, I'm gonna do it one more time here, just to kind of fill in that center little divot there. So you can spend as much or as little time doing these as you want. I mean, you can really throw them together quick. So if I wanted to do Jesus Saves, if I think that's a little too high, I just move it down. This is how you go about this. Now, let's say I just want something a little floral in there. I'm going to go blue flower. Okay. And this is the part I wanted to show you, is that right now I can add this blue flower, and it's all just over here, just all in there. They've got it all ready for you. I can make that a little lighter by using the transparency button up here and have it kind of fade a little bit into the background. And let's say I want something kind of wispy now. See, wouldn't that be a gorgeous one right there? I'd love to do that one too. So as you're doing one, you'll actually find ideas for your next ones just while you're working on the one you're working on. And maybe I'll turn that one a little bit. There's a little turn button down here on all of them. And now I just want something for kind of across the top. And I'm not even sure what I'm looking for. And I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to position it way back, like, and kind of like that. Okay, so I would still work on this for a while longer, but you can kind of see, how I started, how I built it, what you can do with it. And then like over here, I would totally always encourage you to do what we call branding your images, which is you just go ahead and put your website at the bottom. And sometimes it'll be centered, sometimes it'll be off to the side. But can you see that? Can you see the pink line here? That's showing me where center is. Now, it's also showing me other stuff. It's showing me other alignments too. So you want to make sure that you get the true center if you're trying to center it. But there we go. All right. So when you're ready to save it, then you would say, Blue Jesus, I'm going to call this one. Okay, Blue Jesus. And I'm terrible here, getting my fingers in the wrong spot. And then I'm going to say, this is my square one. And because just for time's sake, I'm not going to finish this one, but I'm going to just show you, you go over here, resize. I'm going to make this my tall now. And I don't want to just resize this. Otherwise I lose this. That's one thing. You want to keep making copies and name your copies well, because you will lose it. If you rename it after changes, you'll just lose it. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to change the name of this one to this is my tall now. And now you can see this is radically different, right? Because now it's tall. So then you just kind of move things around and you resize in order to get, it's picking up both of those, in order to get it kind of closer to what you want. And you just move it around until you're feeling good about that. I might add some more blue flowers in there. And on this one, I want to make that bigger, like that maybe. And then I would put the Jesus Saves in there in the middle. And I would probably go back over to my elements and pick out a few more blue. Now it's going to show me what I've already used. So if I really love that bottom one. I think that's super cool. And in fact, maybe on the big one, I would say I want to have that be even more of a focal point because I love that flower. And I just don't want it to be quite so loud. So I just take it a little softer. And that's pretty good. All right. So at this moment, I want to stop presenting again. I've covered a ton of ground, but that leaves us a lot of time now for Q&As. What do you want to know how to do? So somebody give me a question, or please show me how to do what.
If I want them to be able to click on my website, should I just put the link in the comment section?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I always do. I always put my links in the comment section. One of the things that I found, because I have profiles as well as pages and groups pretty much everywhere, I cannot find, and I always keep looking because someday somebody's going to be able to do it, but I cannot find any service that allows me to do it. What I do is I actually hand do all of mine. And some of you are going to be like, no way, I would never do that. But for me, it's just faster, because otherwise I'm trusting a system to upload to maybe 3 out of 4 of my platforms. And so I'm missing the other, the other 3 or 4. And so by doing it this way, everything's here. I make my comments one time with my links in it. By the way, when you're uploading, then you have to put your photo in first, and then your content, your text content. Otherwise, what happens is that the systems are so smart. If you have a link in there, it's going to pull up your preview of the link, right? So it's going to overwrite the photo area. So you can take that off by clicking the X, but if you put the photo in first, typically it knows, oh, they want this photo, and so it won't overwrite it. So that's what I do. I do them all by hand. It takes me 3 minutes to do all of mine, because once I have the photos ready and once I have the text ready, I just boom, 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 boom. So I have my browser set up that when it opens all of those pages at once. And then I just go across the board. I put them all in, and then I shut it down. And I say ping more than you pong. So in other words, you can put more content out, and just once a day I go back and I see who's all commented, and I go through and I like and I follow back or whatever I need to do there. But it can take your whole life, if you want to, that could be your whole ministry is just sitting on social network every day. I just don't have time. So my ministry is different from that, but I use social networking. I have a large following at my pages, and it works well to go fast. Okay. Yes.
I was just wondering, in order to be able to do all of these different pieces that you're able to do with this, do you have to have the paid membership?
You have to have the paid membership to do some of it. Yes. And one of the things is all of those pictures that I'm using, they have a free set, and then they have a pro set. And so, yeah, their free set is pretty awesome, but their pro set is just way better. And like I said, I was used to paying $15 to $20 per image to have background removed. So this has saved me just hundreds of dollars a month.
Yeah. I've used Canva. It's very easy.
It is so wonderful. But Mary Beth, what was your question first?
First of all, this was fabulous.
Good.
Talk about concise. Just that removing the background on the photo is worth doing.
I know. My favorite thing. So let's say I want to use an aha quote. All right. And I'm going to use, you know what, this one. I kind of just let the spirit move, when I'm creating or when I'm sharing, I just let God move me around. And I just love that. The Holy Spirit can just help us to know what to do. So I have now moved it from ready aha quotes into recently used aha quotes. I go over here and I find that same quote, and I pick the size I want it at for LinkedIn right here. Boom. When it comes in, I read it. Everything that comes into my life, Satan wants to use to destroy me. Everything that comes into my life, God wants to use for my good. I say, that's exactly what I want to post right now. I love being able to run every thought, question, or concern directly, you can see this is normal for me, into the arms of my loving Father. And then I'm going to add my I'm going to add my, purpose this time, and I'm going to go Mentor Marnie. I always use that one. And if I don't have another link, I always use my own link, and I am going to copy that. Now, when I publish this, it goes straight out here, and I'm going to go directly here, and I'm going to do this one. And I'm just going to add that one again, same size again at Instagram. Okay. And I'm just going to throw that one out here. Now, when I do this, I just tuck that up one and I copy it again. The reason I like to do LinkedIn is because it lets me do that folder manipulation when I'm starting out. And then let's say if I want to do it on my Facebook story, that one I don't get to add a link. I don't get to add text, but because I have my tall photo available, I can just plug that right in there and we're done, ready to go. Okay. So, I mean, I found this picture just right in the Canva collection of photos. I just put dad and little girl, and it came right up. And you don't have to pay for that, and you don't have to put underneath that you got it from Canva. It's just amazing, amazing freedom to just create to your heart's content. All right. Did I answer your question, Maribeth?
Yeah. So you don't actually use a social media scheduler, do you?
Because I've tried about 10 of them,
Yeah.
and they actually take longer than me just doing
I know.
it.
See, that's exactly what I'm scheduling from the schedule button on Canva.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't even use that because to me, it's just so fast for me to just go and post it. And the other thing is, yeah, I'm used to it. Exactly. So the other thing is that I do use my, let's look at here. I use my calendar and I go, let's just look at my socials. Today I was posting for Laura. I have this, oh, I know that's up here at the very top of my socials up here. I just have it. And then when I'm done posting it, I sometimes will move it up just to get it out of the way. So tomorrow, these are the posts that I plan on doing. And that's all I do. I have a place where I can put my ideas and also where I can put I definitely need to be promoting this on this day. For example, the Well Conference is coming up in April, and today was the 24th of March was the day where all of the presenters were supposed to post something. Well, I want to be able to remember that. So without a scheduling tool, how am I going to do that then? I just use my calendar and make that my scheduling tool. And then I use my folders on my desktop, I have a laptop, but I use my folders to actually keep track of what I've already used, what I'm going to use. And then like one of the folders under ready to use or recently used is promo reusable. And so I have like promotion for the Well Conference, I have promotion for the summit, all that.
Are you talking about your Google Calendar when you say my calendar?
That's just my Google Calendar.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. The image sizes, I go with square 2300 by 2300, tall 1300 by 2300, and wide 1300 by 730 is what I actually do. Use this upload button to go ahead and upload any photo. So here's Erin, or Rebecca rather. So on here, I'm going to go like this. And then I'm going to tell it, I didn't have to change the size first. I'm going to tell it to do the background removal, edit image, background remover. There's also erase and restore. I use the background remover the most. And now you apply it. And now you can put anything behind her. So let's just say I'm feeling beachy. So boom, I can put this right here. And right here, I'm going to move that backwards. Doesn't that look amazing? So you can do so much with this, and this background remover is just gold. So that's great. Okay, all adjust. Okay, so I did want to show you on this too. Let's say I'm going to you can see that it locked down that background. Did you see that? I can't move that background anymore. I don't like when it does that, and you can get back out of it. If you go arrow back, it'll let you go back out of it. I want to take that one off a second. And I want to show you something. See how bright that is? And now we've got this one. Okay. So let's say this is the one I want to have. I'm going to move it backwards. Okay. That's doesn't look quite right because her head's in the seashell. Now I might say, I really was hoping that this background image would be just a little brighter. If you go to edit image and you go down below the background remover to the adjust, see all, you can really play with stuff here. I usually start by playing with the brightness and the contrast to see if I can kind of perk it up a little bit. And then also down here, warmth is going to turn it more yellow. Away from warmth is going to kind of pull some of the yellow out. You can also add clarity to it. You can add vibrance to it. You can add highlights to it. This is a radically different look than I had a minute ago. So it's really fun. You can really take things and change it. And one of the things I like to do is I kind of like to go toward my branded blue instead of the blue that just automatically comes with the photo. I'll typically take it closer to my branded blue. All right, so that was that one. Text and effects. We haven't really talked about text very much. Let's say that this is what I want, and I've kind of got my heart set on having her on the beach, okay? And then down here, I want to add some text, but it's going to be almost impossible to read text down here. So I'm going to pull across an element. It's going to give me my recently used, and then it's going to give me the most popular, which is going to be the square. I use this square all the time, every day, I'd say. And what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to make it big enough, and I'm going to turn it black, and I'm going to position it. I'm not quite sure yet how I want to position it. Yeah, I think I want to have it come off of her shoulder, and I think I want it to match her shoulder. So then I go, here, my brand, and then here are the colors in her photo. Isn't that amazing? They just give that right to me here. So let's just try. Aha, I think it looks pretty cool right there, right? With kind of fading into her shirt like that. And then I might say, yeah, but I don't want it so high on the picture. I want it down a little lower then. Okay, good. Here we go. And maybe a little less of her shirt showing on there. And then I'm going to pick my font. And these are the fonts that I usually use. So when I throw this out here, I can just make it bigger or smaller, whatever. We can say beach day, okay? Whatever you want to say. Anything goes. It's your art. You do it however you want. Beach day. And I think, yeah, I don't like that. I might like it if it was just a little bit bolder. So then another one that I often use is this Anton, because it makes it, oh yeah, I like that. Okay. And a lot of times your font is going to make or break your image. So as far as, how fun it is for people to look at it. And I'm just going to move her up one more time there. And then with this one, now it's just kind of boring still. I can put some background. This one is just a lift, and you can decide how much lift you want on it. That looks pretty cool. Or I oftentimes will use this shadow. The shadow is my favorite thing to use. Everybody will have their own feel and look how they want it. I kind of throw all my numbers all the way over to the right except direction, and then I kind of play with my direction. Where do I like it? I think I kind of liked it where they had it to begin with. And then I would say just for me, the transparency maybe a little bit less, and the offset maybe a little bit less. And I think that would be, that would be pretty much done. So anybody have a question about what I just did right there?
I do.
Yeah.
How did you make the element tuck into her shoulder like that instead of just being a rectangle?
Yes, sure. So the rectangle is still 100% here. It didn't go anywhere. If I go back out to this, I can move it all around, okay? And so I just saw where her shoulder was, and I laid it there, and then I positioned it backwards. So it is backwards now.
Oh, now, you used the position button.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can position anything front or back.
Yeah, I've used it before, just never in that way.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Good. Any other questions about this particular image? Okay. And on this one, we have her inside of this box, inside of this circle. So if we go uploads, let's put somebody else in her box. And let's just go Sue. Okay. And I'm going to edit her background, get rid of all that dark background there. So fun. And then I'm going to flip her so she's kind of more looking the right direction that I want her to look. Whoops. And I got the wrong thing there. That's real easy to do when you have so many layers, to get the wrong thing. And they're just going to put it right in there for me. And if I don't like that, I'm kind of in trouble, because they are going to automatically do that for me. So what I can do is I can go back here and I can change the size. Hang on. Woohoo, I'm having trouble getting a hold of her. I'm going to just move her up here for a second. I can change the size of her thing. You see how it's not quite centered there? I'm going to try that. And ta-da, now she's in the middle. So that's how you add it. The circle comes out of elements, and you can do an oval frame folder, and you can grab an oval from here somewhere. Let's see, oval frame. Oops, I'm the typo queen. Okay, and you put that here, flip it sideways. There you go, like that. Okay. All right. We've got so many layers going on here, and you can grab just certain ones and you can group them. And then when you're ready to ungroup them, you can just ungroup.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I'm seeing like you have all your different pictures with behind you, those. So did you put each one of those photos, like layered them in there together, or?
I did, one by one. Yes, one by one.
Wow.
Yeah, remove the backgrounds, and then put them in and tried to get them the same size. And you know what, I look at this and I think, oh, she's just got, her head's a little big, you know. You just work at it and play with it. And this one, I mean, Christine worked a long time to get all this layering to look like that down here.
Oh, wow. So you don't see all that at first. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Exactly. That was a lot of work to get these like this. But what I did is, when I started to think about the summit, what I did is I did Google searches, and I just encourage you to on Google to search. Like what I did is I just went summit, and then I went images, and I just saw, okay, so summit, that isn't what I was looking for. Let's go women's summit. Okay. And now we've got some summits going on. And what I did is I went until I found things that kind of resonated with me. It's like, I love how they have their own pictures here. I love that little squarish look. And then I had found one that they did the long oblong one. So like at Best You 2022, we've got the tall one here, but then also over here on the speakers page, we've got the wide ones. I loved how that felt. I loved that we could give them, you know, a beautiful image to share out for the summit. So you can find a lot of ideas just searching at Google, and then you can come back in here and, like, for example, searching in photos here. Let's do the same thing. Summit women. I don't have anything. So you have to kind of use a combination of resources to find what you're looking for. And if you're working with a graphic artist, you have to get really specific. Like, I like the font of this one. I like the background pieces of that one. I like how that has a bar across kind of angly and two on top. You get really specific and grab the things. Like, I loved this, but I wanted it to be more smooth feeling like this. And so once you put your ideas together, you'll be able to really, you know, come up with some really fun stuff. And this, I mean, they did a lot of work to get that, you know, to get that down there like that. I mean, that's just a lot of layering to have that happen. But I love it. I think it looks super cool. And here I just got rid of everything except that because I wanted to use this inside of some other product I was making. So I downloaded this one image. So I went over here, share, download, JPEG, this one. And I know you're going to tell me to save downloads, but it doesn't for me save them because I change them all the time. So it just doesn't work. This one, I would just click on the one I want, and then I go done, and then it downloads that one image. Then what I do is I come over here and I upload that one image so then I can use it in a different page, use it somewhere else. Like maybe I want to use it right there is where I used it. Okay.
But I love the things that you've taught in this
Good.
brief course today, because I didn't realize that all of those other design aspects were available, because
Right.
I've always had the free membership.
Yeah.
I've never gone further with it, but it's really quite amazing.
It is amazing.
And
It is
fun to make memes.
It is. It's so, I really feel like it's one of my favorite creative outlets is making the scripture memes. I just love it. Mary Beth, did you have a comment?
Well, I already told you that I love the background remover on the photos, but I wrote myself 2 notes. One says play with effects, and the other says play with elements. Because, you know, we get in our routines, and so I just really enjoyed it, and it's going to expand my use of Canva.
Fantastic. Well, that was my goal. That was my goal. Good. I'm glad you got there. Good. Anybody else have a comment or a question?
Can you hear me?
Again, hi, Sonia.
Hi. I just want to commend you because I know with your busy schedule that you are, that just that short period that you gave us, it seemed like a lot to put together and do just in that. So for you to be able to do all that you do and still have the color hair and the smile on your face, I want to commend you because it was really beautiful.
Thanks, Sonia. And I'm so glad you could come. Thank you for joining us. Godspeed. I can't wait to be with you again, wherever that is. And you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right. Bye-bye.